We are raised on a lie, a very comfortable, very expensive lie. You close your eyes and you picture a bank. You see a fortress. You see thick steel doors, armed guards, and a massive vault piled high with gold bars. You hand your money to the teller and you assume it sits there, safe and sound, waiting for you to come back. That is the fairy tale. Here is the reality. Your money is nothing more than a blinking light on an overheating server in a dark room. It is not cash. It is a digital IOU from an institution that is legally allowed to gamble with your life savings. Here is the cold hard math. If everyone went to the bank right now, this very second, to withdraw their funds, the entire global financial system would collapse in less than 60 minutes. Why, you ask? Because since March 2020, the bank is legally required to keep exactly 0 cents of your money in the vault. Welcome to the fractional lie. Let us look at the history books, specifically the pages covered in red ink. Do you remember Bear Stearns in 2008? It was a titan of Wall Street. They did not go bankrupt because they ran out of assets. They went bankrupt because they ran out of cash. There is a difference. They had billions in assets, but those assets were tied up in garbage mortgages that nobody wanted to buy. When depositors smelled fear, they asked for their cash. Bear Stearns looked at the empty vault, looked at their pile of unsellable contracts, and collapsed. But that was the old days. Back then, a bank run was physical. You had to put on your coat, drive to the branch, and stand in a line that wrapped around the block. That gave the government time. They could go on television, lie to your face, and calm everyone down before they reached the teller window. Those days are over. Look at Silicon Valley Bank in 2023. That was the first Twitter-fueled bank run in history. It took $42 billion leaving the building in just 48 hours to kill a bank that had existed for 40 years. $42 billion. It didn't happen in line at a branch. It happened on smartphones in between sips of latte and yoga class. Click, transfer, gone. The technology in your pocket has turned every bank in the world into a ticking time bomb. The friction is gone. A 100-year-old institution can now evaporate in a single afternoon because of a group chat. And while the speed of the collapse has changed, the legal framework has quietly made the danger infinitely worse. On March 15, 2020, while the world was distracted by a global pandemic, the Federal Reserve made a change that should have been on every front page. They lowered the reserve requirement ratio to 0%. Let me repeat that slowly so you understand the gravity of the situation. 0%. Before this, banks had to keep at least some of your money on hand. Now, legally, they don't have to keep a single penny. They can lend out 100% of your deposit. The safety net is not just thin, it's legally non-existent. The system is operating on pure faith and nothing else. To understand exactly how this scam works, let us leave the bank and go to the airport. Imagine you bought a ticket for a flight to New York. You paid full price, you have a confirmation number, you have a seat assignment. You believe that there is a physical seat on that plane reserved just for you. But the airline has a dirty little secret. There are exactly 100 seats on that plane. Those seats represent the actual cash the bank holds, but the airline sold 1,000 tickets. Those tickets represent your bank accounts. They're playing a dangerous game of probability. They're betting everything on a single assumption. They're betting that there will never be a situation where all 1,000 people show up at the airport at the exact same time. And 99% of the time, they're right.
Most people leave their money in the account. Most people only fly occasionally. The airline pockets the cash for the 900 phantom tickets, the CEO gets a massive bonus, and the system hums along perfectly. But then, the weather changes. A rumor starts to spread. Maybe it is a news report about the airline going bust. Maybe it is a tweet. Suddenly, you panic. You do not just want to fly, you need to fly. And you are not alone. All 1,000 ticket holders rush to the gate at the exact same moment. This is the moment the illusion breaks. The first 100 people to get through the gate get a seat. They get their money. The other 900 people, they are left standing in the terminal holding a piece of paper that says they own something that does not exist. That is a bank run. And here's the part that should make you angry. This is not a mistake. It's not a glitch in the software or an accounting error. This is a feature. The entire banking system is designed to operate this way. It is built on a foundation of overbooking. It does not rely on solvency or having enough assets to cover liabilities. It relies entirely on faith. It works only as long as you believe it works. The moment you stop believing, the math takes over, and the math is brutal. So, who actually benefits from this house of cards? It's not the government. It's certainly not you. The real winner is the commercial bank, and their weapon of choice is something called the money multiplier effect. This is where the magic, or rather the dark arts, happens. Let us trace the path of a single deposit. You walk in and deposit $1,000. The bank takes your money. Because the reserve requirement is effectively zero, they can lend out almost all of it. But let's say they are feeling conservative and keep just $100. They lend $900 to a guy buying a used car. The car dealer takes that $900 and deposits it into his bank. His bank keeps $90 and lends out $810 to someone renovating their kitchen. That contractor takes the money and deposits it, and the cycle continues. Stop and look at the scoreboard. You think there is still only $1,000 in the system, but the bank ledgers tell a different story. They say there's $1,000 in your account, $900 in the car dealer's account, and $810 in the contractor's account. From your initial $1,000 of real cash, the banking system has magically created nearly $10,000 of digital currency. They created money out of thin air. And here's the kicker. They're charging interest on every single penny of that imaginary money. They're collecting real profits on money that does not exist. But here's the twist that usually gets cut from the brochures. You think you are a customer. You think you are the client. Wrong. In the eyes of the law, specifically bankruptcy law, once you hand that cash over across the counter, you are no longer the owner of that money. You are what is known as an unsecured creditor. Let those two words sink in. Unsecured creditor. You have effectively loaned your life savings to a hedge fund that calls itself a bank. And unlike a secured loan where if they don't pay you back you can seize their house or their car, you have absolutely zero collateral. When a bank goes bust, there's a line of people waiting to get paid. The lawyers are first, the bondholders are second, the shareholders with preferred stock are third. You are at the very back of the line. You are standing in the parking lot hoping there are crumbs left over. I can hear you screaming at the screen right now. But wait, what about the insurance? What about the government protection? Ah, yes, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the famous sticker on the window that helps you sleep at night. Here's the math they don't teach you in school. The Deposit Insurance Fund only holds about 1.2% of all the insured deposits in the system. 1.2%.
If a single small bank fails, sure, they can bail you out using the premiums from the other banks. But if the system fails, if 2 or 3 major banks go down at the same time, the insurance fund is bankrupt in 10 minutes. It is like trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. It is not a financial safety net, it is a psychological pacifier designed to keep you from panicking. And while your money sits there, doing absolutely nothing for you, it is actually working against you. Because every time the banks create new money through loans, they increase the global supply of dollars. It's basic supply and demand. When the supply of money goes up, but the amount of goods stays the same, the value of every single dollar in your pocket goes down. That is inflation. Inflation is not an accident. It is not caused by greedy corporations or supply chains or foreign wars. Those are just symptoms. The disease is the expansion of the money supply. When the bank creates new money to lend to someone for a mortgage, housing prices go up. The bank gets the interest, the borrower gets the house, and you get higher prices. Your savings sit still while the cost of living sprints forward. You are getting poorer every single day, not because you are spending too much, but because your money is being diluted. It is a hidden tax. You never voted for it, you never signed a paper agreeing to it, but you pay it every time you go to the grocery store. So, how do you survive in a rigged casino? First, get out of denial. Stop looking at your bank as a vault. It is not a vault, it is a risk exposure. Number 1, diversification. Never, and I mean never, keep all your eggs in one basket. If you have significant cash, spread it across multiple institutions. If one bank fails, you do not want your entire financial life frozen in court for 5 years. Number 2, look at money market funds. These are funds that often bypass the commercial bank balance sheet entirely. They invest directly in short-term government debt. It is not sexy, it is boring. But in finance, boring is safe. It removes the risk of a commercial bank gambling with your rent money. Number 3, and this is the most important one, self-custody. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I am talking about assets that exist outside of the digital banking matrix. Physical gold, physical cash in a fireproof safe, Bitcoin held in a cold storage wallet that only you have the keys to. Having a portion of your wealth outside the system is not paranoia, it is insurance. It is the only way to protect yourself against systemic stupidity. When the screens go dark, you need something real. The entire banking system is nothing more than a collective hallucination. It's a magic trick that only works as long as the audience agrees not to look up the sleeve. We wake up every day and agree to pretend that the emperor is wearing clothes. We pretend the money is there. We pretend the solvency is real. We pretend that debt can be paid indefinitely. But the universe has rules, and mathematics does not care about our feelings. Mathematics does not care about political promises or central bank policies. It exists only because we trust it exists. But trust is fragile. Math is forever. When that faith cracks, and history tells us it always cracks, whether it's the crash of 1929 or the meltdown of 2008, the math comes back to take control. And the math is brutal. It does not negotiate. It simply corrects the error by wiping out the wealth of anyone who believed the lie. Henry Ford, the man who built the American industrial machine, once said something that should chill you to the bone. He said, "It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning." Well, now you understand. This video is my attempt to make sure you see the strings on the puppet before the sun comes up. So, do not place your blind faith in the pixelated number on your phone screen. That is just a scoreboard for a game where the house always wins. Trust what you can hold in your hand. Trust what you can control. Subscribe to the channel because the financial matrix is deep and we have a lot more decoding to do.